Good afternoon, everybody. You may all get seated. Thank you. I am Tobeka Nganywa Umadlamini, and this afternoon I've been requested to be a program director for this inaugural lecture of Professor Babalola. So, colleagues, you all look so beautiful. I'm not sure whether it's because I've got my glasses with me today. So when I look at you, I see those bright faces. Everybody looks so beautiful. Just look next to your friend and see what I'm seeing, because you all look beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am going to waste no time and call our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rachel Nolundi-Songa, our Vice Chancellor and Principal, to come and do a welcoming for the inaugural lecture of Professor Babalola. Over to you, Prof.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I think moving forward, we should invite our honors students, our master's students, and our doctoral students to inaugural lectures so that they can be motivated and work hard. This is a day of celebration, and I'm going to quickly go through the protocol and recognize my colleagues in the form of the executive deans, the executive management and the executive directors, our distinguished professors, senior academics, and other academics as well, the heads of academic departments, HODs, our Water Sisulu staff members, and if there are any members or colleagues from the industry or professional bodies, we also would like to acknowledge them. The Deputy Vice Chancellor who is with us today, and Professor Linnington was unable to join us today. The members of Professor Babalola's family and friends are also welcome and recognized. My colleagues, the students who might be here, distinguished guests of Prof, and ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today as we witness a defining moment in our university's intellectual journey. The power of an inaugural lecture lies not in its formality, but in how it captures the essence of academic pursuit, that relentless drive to push boundaries, to question and to discover. The South African higher education, especially the institutions, regardless of their shape and size, find themselves at a crossroad. Our campuses pulse with debates about transformation, about what it means to be truly African, about how we build institutions that we serve our unique contexts, how we promote access to education, how we take care of each other, and in our context, how we manage our RNC that is almost at the end, and how we contribute to Vision 2030. It's here in this charged atmosphere that your work in industrial psychology, Professor Babalola, can cut through the noise with remarkable clarity, which I'm sure has been achieved by your research, as will be shown in your presentation today. As you step into this role at a time when our sector craves exactly what your work provides, evidence-based solutions to uniquely African challenges in higher education. Your inauguration as a professor isn't just about adding another title to our academic roster. It's about strengthening our capacity to understand ourselves at WSU, to build our institution and others through your research in a manner that can truly serve our society. I believe that your research has assisted and will continue to assist universities in how they can build institutions that nurture both excellence and belonging. This is important to ensure that as universities we create workplace cultures that embrace diversity, not as a checkbox, but as our lifeblood. Look around this room, Prof. I'll give you a moment to do so. Each face represents a different thread in the tapestry of higher education. Students searching for purpose, colleagues wrestling with change, administrators balancing competing demands. My plea with you, Prof. Babalola, as you step into this role, into this highest echelon of academia, please know that you are not just claiming a title, you are accepting a mandate as well. We hope, Professor, that you will mentor our emerging researchers, those who have just acquired their PhDs, those who are in the process of acquiring PhDs, those staff members who want to pursue their postgraduates, that you'll also co-publish with them and hold their hand, because we want to swell the rank of associate professors and staff members who are holders of postgraduate degrees. I therefore would like colleagues, students, distinguished guests, program director, ladies and gentlemen, and Prof's family to welcome you once again to Professor Babalola's inaugural lecture, and ask that we sit back and we enjoy these proceedings.
Thank you very much, Prof. VC. Can we clap hands for VC my way? Oh, okay, so you have to listen to my way. My way is that you just say, clouds are coming, clouds are coming. Let's say that. Let's wait there. I'm going to tell that clapping is not ending there. It will end somewhere when I call Prof. Babalola. So I'm just starting. Thank you very much, VC, for that. Colleagues, I'm going to call now our acting DVC for research and internalization, Professor Trishe, to come and introduce our inaugural professor to us. Over to you, Mam Ncoshe.
Thank you, Program Director. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to acknowledge our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Roshila Songa. Acknowledge the Executive Dean. What are you? Yes, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Management and Public Administration Sciences. You know, we'll get used to this. Distinguished academics, Prof. Babalola's family, guests and visitors, our MCD, there's someone I'm looking for, I don't see. There he is sitting in the back, the director in the Vice Chancellor's office, staff, students, and our choir, and lastly, media. Good afternoon. My job is very, very easy, but you know I've been smiling. Once someone calls me by my clan name, I keep on smiling. Mam Ncoshe, Umandala. Let me stop there for those who happen to know that clan name. Sunday, who I normally call him as Cawe, Samson Babalola, is an industrial and organizational psychology and a professor of human resource management. He hails from Nigeria, born into the royal family of Prince Oba Michael Talubi and Alice Omotinue Asin Ikole Ekiti State, Nigeria. This is a prince. He is a prince. He pursued his early education at a local authority school there in Nigeria for his primary education, and later at Ansar Udin High School from 1973 to 1977. I will not go into his qualifications, but what I want to emphasize is that he did a Bachelor of Science in Psychology honors and other psychology qualifications. He knows what we spoke about earlier on, the two of us, but I will leave it there. Professor Cawe Babalola began his life in higher education as a national diploma student in mass communication. I'm highlighting that specifically for our students to understand that you can start at a national diploma and then end up being a professor one day. He was at a polytechnic in Ibadan, Nigeria. Prof has served in various capacities at different universities, such as the Sub-Dean, Undergraduate and Faculty Board, Planning Committee, University of Ibadan. I'm not going to mention the names, Faculty Promotion and Appointment Committee, and coordinator of Masters in Managerial Psychology. This professor served in quite a number of universities, one of them in South Africa being the University of Venda, where he served at the University Higher Degrees Committee and School Management Higher Degrees Committee, while at our own institution in the then faculty, as you know it, in this faculty. He is currently the chair of the Research Ethics Committee, and as the chair, he serves at the Institutional Research Ethics Committee, and he contributes a lot in those committees. Professor Babalola has been awarded. There's quite a number of awards that he has received. When I was counting here, I stopped counting at number 5. I'm not going to list them. I'm sorry to mention them. They are listed here. The very first one was when he was awarded the Council for the Development of Social Science Research in Africa. I'm mentioning that because that council is active even today, and I hope you are still actively involved. And if so, Professor, you are not the only one who is there. In South Africa, as for University of Venda Excellence in Research, not just 1 year, and we have also awarded him as one of our Vice-Chancellor's distinguished awardees 2022 and 2023, and I hope you will be getting it even this year. The professor is NRF rated. He has served as external supervisor, examiner, moderator, and lecturer at different universities, which are listed in the second paragraph before the last one. He was a professorial assessor for promoting colleagues at the University of Lagos, which I hope the same is still happening here. He contributes to academic literature as a reviewer for prominent journals such as Gender in Management, the Journal of Managerial Psychology, and Leadership and Organizational Development, published by Emerald Publishers in the United Kingdom. He was a member of the editorial board of the Journal of the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of Ibadan. His research primarily explores human behaviors within organizations, examining how available organizational structures and practices influence employees' behavior. Professor Babalola has more than 80 publications in local, national, and international peer-reviewed journals, and has presented his findings in workshops and conferences within and outside Nigeria. This is a multidisciplinary professor. You've heard me mentioning psychology a lot, but when you hear to him standing here delivering a lecture, you'll hear something else. And here, he is a specialist in human resource management. So I think the VC is smiling about that because it is what she's promoting, multi-inter-transdisciplinarity. The professor is happily married to, can I see by show of hands? Can we see by show of hands? Thank you. I'm asking that deliberately because he is married to Professor Olubukola Oluranti Babalola, who works at the Northwest University. Professor Babalola and the wife are blessed with 2 children, that is a son, Oluwatomisin. Can we see by show of hands the son? Thank you. Michael, and then the daughter, who is if I'm calling the son the daughter, you'll excuse me. Or it's the daughter Michelle, it's not Michael. The son is Oluwatokesi Daniel. Can you see the daughter's hand? Not yes, okay. And 1 granddaughter, Babalola Kezia. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to present the professor to come forward.
Thank you, Prof. Now, Prof has called the professor, so can we please clap hands for Professor Babalola my way? Clouds are coming, clouds are coming, rain is coming, rain is coming. Thunderstorm.
Thank you. Before I start my lecture, I need to appreciate a great person, someone that is a mother, someone that knows it all, someone whose paper, even when you look at my paper, you are talking about Black African women. And you know those that have made impact in this environment. Can you help me recognize Matolo? Please accept my pronunciation. Thank you. I'm also sorry that I realized that I did not put the name something along the line. Something happens when I was editing. So please, can you accept my apology? Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Internalization, here present, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Learning and Teaching, Registrar, Chief Financial Officers, Chief Operating Officers, the Executive Dean, Faculty of Management and Public Administration Sciences, the main dean in this environment, Ibika campus. Executive deans of other faculties and the directors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. O God, who shaped my path and bestowed me with insight in abundance, I pay tribute to you for guiding me in my endeavor and being the driving force behind my achievement. My venture into higher education started when I gained admission to pursue a national diploma course in mass communication at the Polytechnic in Ibadan, Nigeria. I purposely mentioned this national diploma because I'm teaching diploma students here, and I do tell them that even when I recruited my postdoc, I recruited somebody that did national diploma, just to tell my students that they know they can become anything in life. And this is part of the way I try to encourage and motivate others. I was so joyful that I could not help but immediately share it with my girlfriend. You may be laughing. However, that was where the issue, the jubilation ended. My girlfriend told me, "You are so happy to have been admitted into a polytechnic when your friends have gained admission into the university." Discrimination between polytechnic and university education stems from government policies in our country. This hit me hard, and it was an eye-opening, an unveiling, and heart unveiling. Thanks to the juggling remark, today I can say it was a stroke of luck. My direction shifted when I discovered the opportunity to delve into psychology at a more affordable university. Although I had limited knowledge of what psychology is, my cousin likened psychology to stargazing. And he believes that I am going to be reading the mind of people. My curiosity about those celestial bodies led me down this new path. Growing up in a Christian mission environment presented me with a hurdle. Here, people will think you want to study star when your parents and you are brought up in a Christian home. The idea of pursuing my education in Eastern Nigeria as someone from the Western Nigeria proved quite daunting, an environment with two distinct ethnic groups. If I look at all these issues and me coming in different parts of the world, I know I'll be made for this pitching. Talk in terms of reliance. Despite these challenges, I persisted and kept my choice of psychology study location under wrap until I finished my first semester in the university. In 1982, I started studying psychology at University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where professors taught me and inspired me greatly. They laid the foundation that helped me understand how humans can overcome challenges and achieve greatness. I soon discovered that psychology had nothing to do with watching stars, celestial bodies, and perhaps mind reading. Colleagues, students that you are here, please take note that some things we have, people tell us concerning whatever you are going to study or what your life will always be, may be wrong. So let's be focused. Today I am here with gratitude and a sense of faith, giving the inaugural lecture for the Faculty of Management and Public Administration Sciences at Walter Sisulu University on behalf of the Department of Human Resources Management within the faculty. I profoundly appreciate my head of department, the executive dean of the faculty, the acting director, the vice chancellors and principal, the deputy vice chancellor, research and internationalization, the deputy vice chancellor of learning and teaching. A heartfelt appreciation is extended to my wife, Professor Olubukola Oluranti Babalola, for her thought-provoking questions about the timing of my inaugural lecture presentation. The idea sparked my thinking and eventually prompted me to prepare for and embrace this challenge. Lastly, to everyone gathered here today, I want to thank you all as I recount my voyage and the insight I brought forth in this inaugural lecture. My inaugural lecture topic, the bamboo workforce, bending without breaking. My name is Samson Babalola. As a young village boy, I was fascinated by the byproduct of specific plant that was very important in the lives of rural dwellers. Yes, this is bamboo. For those of us that we are from township, whatever you discover that before the iron roof, this is what we use. Stem grass that grows abundantly in tropical and subtropical regions and plays an important socio-economic role in the community. This is the bamboo. Even this morning, when I woke up and I look at the back of my house and I saw the bamboo, I said, wow, I should have taken this picture to represent. Bamboo has the highest growth rate of all tropical plants, reaching up to 2.5 meters per hour due to the bouncy property and intracellular structures. Bamboo plant architecture designs are distinguished by their ornamental features, which attract people. These are those things, the different type of things that you can see, how it makes up. Even in the farm, look at the way it is being used. And they also use it even in building the house and all those things. Industrial psychology, organizational psychology, and human resources. I will not dwell much on this, but Madam Vice Chancellor, remembering the nature, characteristics, and the lesson from bamboo is critical to understanding the behavior necessary for maintaining workplace harmony and efficiency. The field of study, such as industrial psychology, organizational psychology, and human resources management, have deepened our understanding of how work benefits individuals and organizations by providing practical solutions for better performance and well-being. Maybe just to distinguish between the two, within the three. Industrial psychology is a scientific study of work and its application to individual, team, and the organization. Organizational psychology focuses on the study of the quality of work environment and complex problems of interpersonal relations, motivations, and organizational dynamics. Whereas human resources management focuses on aligning employees with the company's objective by overseeing recruitment, processing, and training programs. These are all spelled out. But you may also discover, I only just mention one thing, the relationship among the three. Industrial psychology, IP, organizational psychology, OP, and HRM have background in examining work and human behavior. My lecture demonstrates that psychological studies of people, workplace experiences, behaviors, and interaction contribute to effective and fulfilling engagement. I am deeply curious about how organizational processes and practices influence human behavior and the outcome of interactions. The insight gained from these investigations have implications for efficiency, effectiveness, self-expression, collaboration, and could help create a conducive and inclusive work environment. The world of work. Those of us in human resources management, our garden is in the world of work. Work plays as a blend of physical conditions and psychological climate. It's not just only the table, the chair, the pen, the laptop that we are dealing with. We are also dealing with human being, the psychological climate. Things may not work. Things will work depending on the way you make it. You could provide all the resources, and somebody will not use it. Before COVID, you will tell lecturers, can you go online? Can you present slide? Can you do these things? Nobody wants to do it. I can't do it. When COVID came, you now see the way it is. Yeah, the university have been providing all these resources before, but nobody is looking at it. But when the psychological climate call for it. Everybody fit in, because we are going to lose your job. Ideal work presents opportunities for employees to express potential aspirations and accomplishment of goals. Madam Vice Chancellor, Matolo. My thesis is rooted in the fact that the workplace could be much better and more attractive if stakeholders intentionally make it so. My contribution. Madam Vice Chancellor, given the critical role the employees play in the success and longevity of organization, this lecture presents a metaphor topic that resonates with work behavior, the bamboo workforce, bending without breaking. Bending without breaking. In simple terms, there are so many challenges in the workplace. There are so many things that happens in the workplace. You have stress, you have all those things, but people still continue to make it because you need to survive. So bamboo is mentioned in the workplace discussions as a symbol of resilience and adaptability to thrive in conditions. Bamboo impressive flexibility, which allows it to withstand pressure without breaking, represent resilience at work. HRM systems have been shown to have positive employee outcomes and reduce negative ones. You ask how? With our HR, when you have challenges, they have every provisions. We have organizational development within the HR. We have those that are handling the issue of compensation. There are so many factors. What is your problem? They are there to help you stand tall without bending. The growing nature of bamboo and its role in nurturing and retaining talent highlights the importance of human capital investment. Therefore, organizational success depends on aligning company values with consistent actions. I have 7 areas of contributions. I mentioned about entrepreneurial behavior. I mentioned about employees' well-being. I mentioned about psychological and emotional factors. I mentioned women in leadership, the dynamics of leadership and trust, sustainable organizational practices, and organizational behavior. I may not go through all the slides in there, but at least I just want to, these papers are here that we can read for some of us. Babalola, factors influencing unethical business behavior among small business owners in Nigeria. Babalola 2009A. Explored factors of locus of control, risk-taking propensity, age, and gender to understand their relationship with unethical behavior. Please don't say I am biased. Men tend to exhibit an inclination towards actions due to social norms and influence gender differences in risk-taking tolerance. They get to engage more in terms of the other side. Let me not mention. Babalola 2009B further investigated how psychological capital influences female entrepreneurs' behavior in Nigeria. Psychological capital is concerned with self-efficacy and perception of control. My research suggests that women entrepreneurs score higher on self-efficacy and internal control and are more inclined to exhibit innovative behavior. They are not strong, but they are stronger. Because people don't know what it is. They calculate, they are the managers. If you look at the table that I'm just showing here, you discover that locus of control, self-efficacy, and all those things are key important variables when you are dealing with women in entrepreneurial innovative behavior. Babalola and Omobowale 2012 investigated how trustworthiness and innovation intersect with knowledge management to support business owners' sustainability in the cybercaf, focusing on 2 cybercaf owners as a case study. The summary says that the finding indicates that business owners prioritizing business trust with employees and clients tend to achieve long-term success. Most businesses collapse because of lack of trust. You said, I'm coming. Somebody will be waiting for you. And it's also important for those of us that we are dealing with small businesses to know that we need to keep trust. This is the Babalola and Marcus 2013 in Namibia investigated how HR department can effectively manage workplace diversity using a conceptual review. They conclude that improved recruitment, selection, and placement standards will help to foster a work environment with valuable diversity and allow employees to thrive in fair and inclusive environment. Vice Chancellor Ma, the Mbambu workforce, as portrayed in this lecture, symbolizes the ability to be flexible and adaptable in changing work setting, while also being resilient, a trait for excelling in dynamic work environment. Business owners tackling challenges and embracing cooperative approaches with community support is critical for mirroring the resilience of bamboo trees. It is safe to say that employees in every organization provide services. The question that agitates the mind then is, do employees always derive joy in or from their service, as experientially put by Rabindranath Nath? The reason for this investigation is that performance on the job is inescapably linked to employees' well-being, while the perception of well-being sometimes depends on emotional labor. With workload as a moderating factor, Nwanzu and Babalola 2020A investigated how emotional intelligence affects caring behavior in health center settings. The studies support the theory that events can elicit emotional response in influencing employee attitude and behavior. May I just tell you, there's a difference between employee attitude and employee behavior. As a professional, people will start talking about attitude. You have an attitude. They are making reference to your behavior. But from the professional point of view, there's a difference between the two. You can express an attitude, but when you want to carry out what you want to do, which is the behavior, you may do a different thing from your attitude. So attitude is different from behavior. It's what you think you want to do. Now, this afternoon, I was with the VC, and we are talking. Now, I face the VC face to face. It's different from me being somebody. Yes, I can face her. But in terms of when you now see, can you talk? I'm only just using that one as an example in terms of behavior and attitude. These findings have implications for healthcare institutions' management of workloads to maintain employment emotional intelligence impact on compassionate behaviors without compromising. Nwanzu and Babalola research demonstrate that emotional intelligence, I put EI is emotional intelligence, is critical for predicting caring behavior in work setting. It emphasizes the significance of workload management in influencing the relationship within the health setting. Though I'm talking in terms of health setting, it is everywhere. So, but because the study is specifically on health set, so we cannot now say it's only in the health setting that it matters. Nwanzu and Babalola 2023 research how balancing work, personal life, impact public sector work, health and social skills development. Work-life balances influence overall well-being. The study used a cross-sectional design to survey 150 public sector employees. The study emphasizes striking an equilibrium between responsibility and personal life for overall well-being. Nwanzu and Babalola 2024A applies situational strength theory to investigate how personality traits influencing proactive work behavior, with the thesis that cause self-evaluation and psychological empowerment will impact proactive work behavior. The finding indicated that psychological empowerment improves well-being by encouraging proactive work behavior through psychological empowerment initiative at work. May I say a little about this? This has to do with the issue of when you psychologically empower someone, you make the individual to have the opportunity to think proactively. But when you are not giving the person psychological empowerment. Although, yes, it may not be part of my duty to do, but when you do it, I will recognize you. Then it makes people to work and think ahead, not waiting until the thing is dead before they start making suggestions. Knowing and controlling emotion through emotional intelligence, striking a work balance, being culturally intelligent, and self-monitoring are all important psychological factors contributing to resilient work. Contemporary psychological studies have explored the importance of maintaining a work-life balance for employees' well-being and resilience. These findings call for a bamboo workforce approach with cultural and emotional intelligence effectively. As we move along the line, I will still explain what is cultural intelligence and distinguish it from the emotional intelligence. Nwanzu and Babalola 2019 investigated how psychological capital, which I put as SACAP, of self-efficacy, optimism, and self-monitoring influences attitude towards change. This demonstrates that people with psychological capital traits tend to support organizational transformation. We'll be talking about transformation, we'll be talking about consolidation, and we'll be talking about some of those issues. And I believe some of those issues that we are talking about, even when we do R&C here, were also detailed in some of these things that we're talking about. This is an example where we are free to relate with one another, and we are not competing, because the sky is wide enough that we can fly without hitting one another. Nwansu and Babalola 2019 hypothesized that self-belief, ability, which is self-efficacy, positivity, resilience will affect innovative work behavior employees in public sector. Here how the data was collected and analyzed was mentioned. The finding revealed that psychological capital influences innovative work behavior with individuals with high psychological capital levels more likely to exhibit innovative work behavior. The research conducted by Babalola and Ukurame 2004 explored the goals and the mindset of men and women in positions in Nigeria, particularly emphasizing how gender and marital status impact these aspirations. Our study investigated how gender stereotypes, commonly held beliefs, and characteristics relate to each gender and affect individual career advancement. I was touched by this study because I knew my sister was better than me when I was growing up. But she was not allowed to study more than the primary school level. And I vow that my daughter will go to any length. Babalola et al. 2021 on Women's Challenge in Leadership Roles within African STEM industries due to gender discrimination and career advancement obstruction found that, unlike their male counterpart, women thrive and lead effectively in predominantly male-dominated world before their efforts are recognized. You know, men don't have any comparison. Women, you must do this. The man is doing this. And it puts more pressure on the women than any other thing. And these are issues that we think about. And for us to be able to look at is when we have girl child, how do we train the girl child to overcome this challenge of the society? The study used formal interviews and online surveys with open-ended questions to gather detailed information from 42 women from 12 African countries. These are the countries that were involved: Cameroon, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, Nigeria, South Africa, Sudan, and Uganda. Babalola et al. 2023 explored the path of African women in STEM leadership position using Lent 1994 cognitive career theory, CCT, by explaining how different personal environmental factors influence women's interests and goals in these roles. Our study identified leadership qualities, challenges, and stereotypes that underestimate women's leadership ability in STEM sector. Have you seen those of them? There's a particular university that I know, scarcely will you find any woman professor. I wanted to do a study here in South Africa before looking at the women in position. You will see women in the lower level, lecturer, but at the topmost. Maybe now, even if you look at it, I'm sorry, Madam Vice Chancellor, how many women professors do we have out of 26 or more university Vice Chancellors? And when you are talking in terms of our percentages, some people will tell you that we have more women than men. When you go to church gathering, you find more men. But who attend the church more? The women. But they are not given the opportunity to lead because they are women. Our study found that gender biases and societal norms impede women's progress. But however, when you talk in terms of bamboo workforce, if you look at some of those things, most women, they strive because they are resilient. They have goal setting. You know, they can go forward. They are principled. You know, when you are dealing with women, do you know what normally happens? They said they are too principled. They cannot bend. Because in terms of ethical issues that I mentioned along the line, they are not ready to bend the rule, but they want to follow to the letter. But because we want to pull them down, we say, this one, we don't even know what it's dealing about. And that tells us in terms of the bamboo warfare that I'm proposing, that, yeah, despite those challenges, they still survive in an environment where men fails. Genga and Babalola 2004 follow-up study investigated women's challenges in leadership roles in Kenya and South Africa banking sector. This study used the categorical intersectionality framework to gain insight into the real-life struggles of Black African women in managerial positions, uncovering the compounding difficulties due to being marginalized by race and gender. You know, this is a snowballing method that was used. 41 Black African women managers in Kenya and South Africa banking industry participated in the study. The finding revealed that gender bias and stereotype beliefs impedes their progress to senior executive position. Our study underscored the pressing need for mentoring initiatives and organizational commitment to diversity and gender equality in addressing disparity and improving the presence of Black women in leadership positions. Not the women in leadership position, but those also that are followers. Because you need to encourage, you need to move. And my VC was talking to me in terms of mentoring. When you see my recommendation, you know I mentioned about it. Babalola et al. Babalola et al. 2021-2023, and Genga and Babalola 2024 noted women's resilience and flexibility in challenging situations is consistent with bamboo warfare's concept. People who demonstrate adaptability and stamina by bending but not breaking despite pressures are consistent with Black African women leadership styles in these studies. Did you see women with their baby? They will go to the same office with their spouse. They come back home. They are going to be the one that will prepare the food. And they will be nursing the baby. And the man said, I can't go and carry the baby from the crèche. Who bear the pain? And then the man will start claiming that I'm the father. It's my son, it's my daughter. But somebody bear the pain for 9 good months. It's okay. Babalola 2016 examined how leadership styles and quality of supervisor-employee relationship affect organizational commitment and performance. The research draws from social exchange theory, dual pathway models of respect, the investment model of commitment, and leader-members exchange. Is there? Although we will look at this, specifically what you find in this study is that work experience and transformational leaders are significant negative predictors, whereas education has significant positive effects on job performance. According to this study, work experience is the strongest explanatory variable to explain job performance. Lawa and Babalola 2016 study contended that effective leadership would depend on building trusting relationship using data collected from 626 employees. The data were analyzed using regression and mediation techniques to examine how these work. And that's the analysis. But the molded 3 integrates the 2 mediators, which is cognitive and effective trust, into regression equation. And you discover that is only cognitive trust. What is trust? What is cognitive trust? Cognition is more like knowledge, imagery that you think about. So, whereas the affective is more like emotion that you are talking about. So you can bamboo somebody with your emotion, but have you carried the person along with you in terms of your dream or your energy? Leadership dynamics and organizational outcomes highlights the importance of strong leader-followership relationship in fostering positive workplace behavior for achieving organizational goals. Leaders play a crucial role in shaping employees' behavior and morale by building trust, fostering relationship, and demonstrating emotional intelligence. Companies should adopt a bamboo workforce mindset by empowering leaders, fostering job satisfaction, managing stress, and building trust. This approach enables individuals to thrive and amidst challenges and uncertainty. Give somebody a trust. Allow the person to have job satisfaction, even when he still have to go and take the baby from this crèche. He's ready to sacrifice, and he will never get burned. You know, I'm sorry that I diverted. When you look at this issue, men die faster than women. Go to the village to go and confirm. The figure depicts a transformational leadership process that fosters inspiration and guides followers in the right direction. According to Adams, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. May we look at it and see if it makes meaning unto us. Nwansu and Babalola 2022C examine how employees' sense of psychological ownership and creative self-efficacy affect job performance. Individuals are motivated to maintain their team's perception to improve their self-worth based on social identity. Likewise, Nwansu and Babalola 2024 explore how ethical leadership and psychological ownership affects employees' voluntary and proactive pro-environmental behavior. This study leans on social learning theory and social identity. The sub-team discussed theories and approaches to sustainability and organizational effectiveness within organizational psychology and workforce management strategies. It is critical for an organization's long-term well-being and survival to implement practices that balance goals with environmental and social responsibility while cultivating workforce resilience. Creating an adaptable bamboo workforce is possible by incorporating methods that encourage employee loyalty, empowers employee, and embrace people-focused management tactics. I think I learned some of this issue from this environment. You know, because of the way they allow you. And I was looking at the management of the department, the management of the faculty, and from different schools that I've been, and looking at when the NASA say you are in charge of community engagement, bringing it down to the lower level. You are in charge of these particular things. You are in charge of these things. You are getting people involved. It brings in some other issues that I think, when you look at from different perspectives, you see that you are building people for the future. Part of our study is on how employees perceive fairness in the work environment. Such as counterproductive work behavior. This study was carried out in the public sector in South Africa. Our research revealed a relationship between how employees perceive fairness within the organization and the workplace environment on counterproductive work behavior. Employees behave positively when their work environment fosters enjoyment, including recognitions, kindness, support, and clear expectation. I came in here, I have the opportunity of being recognized by the Vice Chancellor, and yearly, what they are doing, and they've been advertising. You have those in the teaching, you have those in engagement, you have even within the support staff. All these things are part of the recognition one is talking about, to make people not to be counterproductive or engage in deviant work behavior. It demonstrated how creating a positive workplace can reduce negative employee behavior while promoting positive one. In our investigation on how organizational strategy and entrepreneurial mindset influence efficiency in the variety of ways, Babalola and Wansu 2020 research uses two frameworks: resource-based theory and contingency theory. Thus, we emphasize aligning strategies with resources and internal environment to increase efficiency. Company encouraging an entrepreneurial mindset characterized by creativity and adaptability are better positioned to deal with uncertainty and increase longevity, which my study provides insight into, and now employee can adapt well towards an organizational efficiency and sustainability. Summary of my contribution. With my experience in the field of industrial psychology, I can boldly say that I understand the problem of human behavior in the workplace. I have dedicated my efforts to investigating and resolving the challenges through research and hands-on project involvement. I discovered personality and demographic factors such as gender and willingness to take risks can influence behavior of small business leaders. I have also discussed how gender bias and discrimination impedes women's career advancement. In my study of psychological capital, I investigated the impact of optimism and self-efficacy on people's attitude towards change and the role of self-monitoring. Conclusion. Madam Vice Chancellor, I have discussed the complex relationship between workplace practice, employee behavior, and organizational outcomes in this lecture. My research has identified several key individuals and organizational characteristics significantly impacting employee performance. In addition, my research has also shown that success in entrepreneurship and workplace depends on the knowledge sharing, adaptability, and innovation. You are not an island. You cannot keep the knowledge that you know to yourself. And that's why they are talking about, can you lift somebody up so that the person becomes part of it? Because the knowledge will go. When you leave the system, then nobody knows anything about it. Resilient individuals and diverse teams can be likened to bamboo, which bends without breaking. This analogy emphasizes the importance of adaptability and resilience for entrepreneurs and employees, which are critical for long-term success and meeting organizational goals. The comparison to a bamboo workforce emphasized the importance of these characteristics, bolstered by strong leadership and equitable treatment within organization. When employees exhibit these characteristics, they can better adapt, evolve, and thrive in difficult situations, resulting in success for the company and its leader. When we are going for R&C, there were a lot of backbiting, fighting, whatever. But are we broken? No. Are we better off? Yes. The challenges are there. Somebody, the VC, I could recall, I'm not going to look back. People have been talking about this thing before. People will leave it alone. Let's continue. We will know where we get to. But today it has become history. They've done it in the past. I look at the record here. You see different names of the university. We have 4 campuses. I could realize I was in a meeting there. Somebody said, no, we have 4 universities here. One of the former DVC said it in a meeting. Because when we are saying people do whatever they like, and that's why you now see the resilient and the focus-driven leadership. All things are possible to those that believe. Resilience leads to sustainability. Recommendation. Dear Madam Vice Chancellor, Matolu. As a researcher and professional in the field, I would like to offer some suggestions for improving how organization operates ethically and efficiently. Organizations should prioritize emotional intelligence training, including cultural intelligence and emotional labor. These things go together. We are from different backgrounds. We need to have an understanding about how it is. Maybe for your information, I was in a meeting. It doesn't happen here, in one of the universities. I won't mention the university, but in Southern Africa here. And I was wearing a cap. Somebody said, this is an insult. You can't be wearing a cap. Who are you to wear a cap here? And I said, do you know that I'm a prince? So the issue is, it has the individual differences. So I do understand subsequently, but I won't remove it. But next time when I'm coming to the meeting, I won't put it on. So just recognize that fact. These are some of those things when we are talking about cultural intelligence and all those things, and emotional intelligence. And I'm appealing, like I did mention, I am appealing to the university that most of us will need emotional intelligence training. Maybe those in HR department, organizational development department, they could do so many things for some of us to know how to handle this issue. Cultural intelligence training support employees from diverse backgrounds in navigating diversity. When we talk about cultural intelligence, we are not only talking because I speak Xhosa and this person speaks Venda, but we're also talking in terms of the differences that we have. I cannot climb up, because of my challenges. These are some of those things you'll be able to understand with one another. So, leadership development programs should foster supportive leader-employee relationship to build essential skills, psychological empowerment, and engagement. In this study, I mentioned psychological empowerment. Psychological contrast is different from the legal contract. And that's why you will see an employee that comes into something. It is not in my schedule. I can't do the work. And that's why we have to be building what we call psychological contract. If you are helping me, you are not looking at the paper all the time, then I will behave normally. So, emphasis should be placed on leadership traits and benefits of situational and hands-off leadership. Developmental initiative for business owners should focus on training in soft side, capital, human side, and social capital. Emphasis have always been on the financial. When we give you money, you will succeed in business. For those of us from the side soft aspect of human behavior, you know you can give me 100. Have you seen the children of billionaires becoming billionaires? These are things that it is not there. Because if you are not built and you depend on the money will go to the drain. So, business ethics and risk management should also be part of those things. So, collaboration between entrepreneurs, association, and government can strengthen entrepreneurial knowledge and strategic planning tailored to rural challenges. Employees should balance credentials with experience in recruitment and promotion. Here we are looking at people not talking in terms of, we only know, do you have the certificate? But they are not looking at the other side. And even if you are not looking at the other side, when you bring people into the organization, during the learning the rope, socialization processes, you made them to go through those things. Encouraging mentorship within the organization is essential for advancing women's career. Experienced staff and supervisors should engage in mentorship program to support professional growth. My vice chancellor was referring to me as if he saw my slide. Susulu University can lead by embedding mentorship in its strategy and offering guidance to mentors and mentees for impactful partnership. By following this recommendation, Susulu University, like many positivity-driven organizations, can foster morally aligned employees who integrate personal aspirations with business goals, enhancing productivity and strong community by practicing psychosocial and economic well-being. Emphasis has always been economic well-being. People have stresses to manage. How do we do that? And they have family they need to look at. Acknowledgement. The Lord God has made today a special day and a landmark in my academic work life. Blessed be the Lord who has brought me this far. I am also grateful to my vice chancellor and the principal, Mantolu, for her support during my career journey, and the university management, the director of research, and every other person that have been involved in the management of the university. I also appreciate the support and encouragement of the faculty, the only faculty that has combined name that is longer than any other faculty. Management, public administration sciences. I also encourage my colleagues, especially those who are in Farm Research Ethics Committee. I recognize you. I thank you very much. Your guidance and expertise and kindness have significantly impacted my journey. Thank you for those that have contributed. Those that they think they've not contributed, they all contributed to me. And from psychology, I learned, those who think it's your enemy, they've contributed towards your growth. Because you are no longer sleeping. And that makes you to be. I know my sister here. I disturbed her to go and register for PhD. And I've been disturbing this person. So that I'm the enemy. But I know she will understand. I sincerely appreciate the academics and non-teaching staff at the faculty, department. I recognize those that are in my Lift Club. I won't mention him. I had the opportunity of being trained by several older generations of psychologists. Emeritus Professor Dennis Ugwegbu, Professor Julius Ozioko, my BSc honors supervisor, Professor Bola I. Udegbi, my MSc and PhD supervisor. You know, I don't know why I changed. My supervisor taught me to respect women. You know, to some extent, you know, you have to be. And that's what, even when I want to get married, I need not to be boss, but to also learn that you need to respect women. I deem it fit to extend my special gratitude to some of my helpful forces, former university colleagues at University of Ibadan, University of Namibia, University of Venda, and University of Venda. Furthermore, I'm grateful to Emeritus Professor Miriam Merez from Israel. He has been my mentor since 2005, and he follows me up to this level. I just went to the lab to work in a year fellowship, and he never leave me alone. You know, I picked things there, and I've been extending that one to those that even they thought that we are not together again. So, I appreciate my friends and everyone that, specifically in this place, let me just mention some great individuals. Professor Funshaw and Dr. Mrs. Mercy Kutu, are you here? Professor and Professor Oyedeji, are you here? And so many other ones. I won't mention other names again. I owe a debt of gratitude to my parents and royal family of Alasin of Asin, Ekiti, Ikole local government area, Ekiti State, Nigeria, Prince Omoba Michael Talabi, and Mrs. Alice Omotenuwe. You know, ma'am, my DVC, ma, my mom is like you. That's why they call her Omotenuwe. He got bath inside, you know. He didn't carry this black color to this place. It's like you. And that's Omotenuwe, because he got bath from child. Okay? For love, support, and my stepmother, Mrs. Victoria Dudu Yemi Babalola, all of blessed memories. To my in-laws, Mr. Demola Daniel and Mrs. Comfort Abosede Ademuyiwa, I owe you a debt of gratitude. I also extend my acknowledgement to my siblings, my younger brothers, and all my family members. I am grateful to my destiny helper, my loving wife of more than 2 decades. Professor Olubukala, Anna Oluranti Babalola. May I recognize you? You have been selfless, caring, supportive, and reliable. You are a true helpmate. I love you. May you continue to rise higher and higher I wish to acknowledge and appreciate my children, Mrs. Oluwatomisin Michela Kolade, and the spouse, Dr. Olufemi Kolade, and my granddaughter, Abijola Kesia Kolade. I recognize my son, my carbon copy. When this Bobby was born, somebody was asking, no, they want to perform operation. And my wife was saying, no, he doesn't want operation. He will deliver normally. And I said, I have a nasty experience with my cousin that died, 4 days, the baby. I said, I'm ready to sign. So somebody now came, hey, this is the father of this boy. They've seen the head. You are more than precious than thousands of children. Your blessings will exceed those of your parents, ancestors, and you will excel above your peers. I love you dearly for being pillars of strength and support. Today, I'm honored to present my academic sermon. Madam Vice Chancellor, I may now formally claim my professorship of Human Resources Management at Water-Susulu University. Thank you for your presence and attention. That's my daughter. That's the boy. And that's my granddaughter and the dad. And this is somebody. Glory to God. Glory to God, for he is faithful, and may his name be continually praised. Thank you to everyone.
Wow. Professor Babalola is the most jokey person at serious times. So I don't want to make this so serious, because he would say in the middle of the meeting, when we are very serious, and put a joke. And we all laugh, and like, Prof, man, when you are like to talk. So now, Prof, it's your turn today. I know this feeling. Thank you very much for this wonderful lecture. Thank you very much, colleagues. You can get seated. Thank you very much. It was so touching, Prof. You see this bamboo tree. I know a lot of things that this tree do. But it may happen that some of us, it's complicated, this bamboo thing. So we would like Professor Balkaran to come and try to unpack a bit about the realities of this speech. Because sometimes we academics, we are... Sometimes we academics, we are complicated to the audience. So, but you were not complicated, Prof. You were very simple. At least I understand psychology better now, especially when it is related to trees like bamboo. So I'm so excited about your speech. So we're gonna ask Professor Balkaran, but I also want you, before I can call you Prof, to clap hands for Prof in my way. Clouds are coming, rain is coming, thunderstorm. Thank you very much, Prof. I even put water for you, but you did not drink it. And I wanted to give you when you were crying. You know, we like when dads are crying.
Thank you, Program Director, Professor Inaugural. Good afternoon to all attending physically, virtually, and in absentia. To our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Rashila Songha, our DVC, Research and Internationalization, Professor Kishe, members of the EMC, our Executive Dean, distinguished guests, fellow academics and non-academic staff, and our dear postgraduate and undergraduate students. I have specifically reserved a special welcome to the Babalola family, but without going into detail, let me, in the interest of time, welcome you once again and recognize that you have sacrificed, along with Prof. Babalola, this long journey that he has traversed. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me this moment to felicitate Professor Sunday Samson Babalola on his professional inaugural lecture and thank him for acknowledging me as the academic respondent at this epic milestone in his academic life to provide the intellectual critique and a celebratory acknowledgement of his scholarly contributions. My acquaintance with Prof. Babalola spans more than a decade. I was introduced to Prof. Babalola when I was visiting universities in Lagos, Ibadan, and Abuja in Nigeria to collect data for my PhD study, the title which was The Impact of Trade Unions on Public Sector Reform in Nigeria and South Africa, a Comparative Study. Several years later, I was pleasantly surprised to receive a call from Prof. Babalola, and he informed me that he had joined WSU and was now based at Butterworth campus. At the time, I was still based at Amtata, and our academic relationship was once again re-established. Before engaging with the lecture, and on a much lighter note, I note that Prof. Babalola's decisions, and this is by his own admission, have been greatly influenced by the women in his life. His discussion regarding his admission to the Polytechnic and his loving wife for her thought-provoking question about the timing of the professional inaugural lecture and spurring him once again to prepare for and embrace this challenge. Prof. Babalola studied at the Universities of Nigeria and Ibadan, serving in various professional and academic capacities. He was trained by several older generation eminent psychologists before expanding his professional practice outside his country of birth and arriving eventually at the southern tip of Africa. He is an NRF-rated researcher and has received several accolades and participated in numerous professional development programs, and as indicated by our DVC in her welcome, that he is also the recipient of the Vice Chancellor's Distinguished Awards and also the Research and Innovation Certificate of Recognition as an NRF-rated researcher. It goes without stating that as a professor of his stature, he is a prolific researcher, having published more than 80 publications in local and international peer-reviewed journals, and has presented his findings at workshops and conferences. He is a much sought-after external examiner at several universities throughout the country and has graduated innumerable postgraduate students at honors, master's, and doctorate levels. As a full professor and psychologist in industrial and organizational psychology, I am not surprised that Professor Babalola has chosen for his inaugural lecture to speak on the bamboo workforce, bending without breaking, exploring a concept that originates in nature but holds valuable insights for our business environment. This is used metaphorically to describe the qualities of resilience, flexibility, sustainability, and adaptability in workers or employees. COVID-19 pandemic tested every organization's resilience. Those that survived and thrived were the ones with a workforce that could adapt to sudden changes. Similarly, companies that shifted quickly to remote work demonstrated remarkable resilience. Microsoft and Zoom were typical examples and have adapted to remote work within days, globally empowering employees with the tools they needed to stay productive from home. This rapid transition was possible because the company had already invested in flexible, cloud-based technologies, even thriving under new conditions by supporting work-from-home innovation. The metaphor of the bamboo workforce, bending without breaking, isn't just an idealistic vision. It's a real-world necessity. It holds powerful lessons for the South African and broader African workforce and entrepreneurial ecosystem. And coming back much closer to home, I found the analogy most apt because my immediate reaction was to link this to WSU's ongoing RNC project. In attempting to look at the analytics of Prof. Babalola's lecture, Prof. Babalola's lecture is categorically compartmentalized into 7 broad categories underpinned by almost 31 studies from 2009 to current 2024. And in terms of then unpacking them without going into detail, entrepreneurial behavior, employee well-being, psychological and emotional factors in the workplace, women and leadership and gender disparities, dynamics of leadership, psychological constructs, organizational practices, organizational behavior, and employee performance. As indicated, his lecture traversed 2009 to 2024 and is ongoing and relevant as he has collaborated with numerous research partners in as many areas of investigation, indicating the wide range of his areas of specialization. Contextually, in business organizations, fostering a bamboo workforce is about cultivating a team which bends with the wind but does not break. It can face adversity, it can adapt to changes, and bounce back from difficulties without collapsing under pressure, and maintain productivity while protecting their well-being. It is a perfect symbol for the modern workforce. The widespread nature of bamboo roots helps them anchor the plant while allowing for rapid growth and expansion. South African entrepreneurs, and this is where we saw the multidisciplinary approach from Prof. Babalola, where he speaks about entrepreneurs can seize opportunities in renewable energy, eco-friendly products, and sustainable agriculture, hence the comparison to the bamboo workforce. South Africa's Redefined Properties, a property company, which promotes environmental sustainability through green building practices, is an example of how businesses can prioritize sustainability while achieving profitability. In an era where challenges such as economic crises, technological disruptions, and health emergencies continuously arise, how do we cultivate such resilience? Well, according to Prof. Babalola's research, it starts with empowerment, ensuring that employees have the resources, the support, and mental health care they need to withstand challenges. We all know job roles are evolving, markets are shifting, and new technologies emerge faster than ever before. Organizations that do not bend to these changes risk breaking. Companies like Uber, Airbnb are built on the flexibility of these workers. These companies disrupted traditional business models, and the workforce embraced flexible work arrangements that allowed them to adapt to fluctuating demands and evolving markets. And in this process, they encouraged a culture of continuous learning and upskilling within the workforce, which was vital to achieving this flexibility. When employees are supported in developing new skills and encouraged to embrace innovation, they become like shape shifters without losing their core strength. Similarly, a workforce that collaborates, where individuals come together to share knowledge and provide mutual support, is far more effective than one where individuals operate in silos. In 2020, many businesses turned to cross-functional teams to solve problems quickly. For example, Ford retooled its factories during the pandemic to manufacture ventilators in collaboration with General Electric. Organizations must foster environments where teamwork is just not encouraged, but ingrained in the culture. When one individual faces difficulty, they can lean on others in the workforce, similar to the bamboo in question. Bamboo is culturally significant because it represents strength and unity in societies by embodying values such as honesty and integrity, which are highly valued in the workplace. And Prof. Babalola has indicated quite clearly in many of his studies where values such as trust, integrity are aligned to a specific gender. Beliefs significantly influence a company's culture. Therefore, businesses that premise their culture on values and beliefs like openness and honesty tend to have a more engaged and motivated workforce. Sustainability is another powerful lesson focusing on long-term, sustainable productivity rather than short-term gains. This involves preventing burnout, promoting work-life balance, and ensuring that employees can maintain high performance over the long term. Therefore, a sustainable workforce is one that is built to last. Our workforce must thrive in diverse business environments. This requires fostering a culture of innovation, where creative problem solving and forward thinking are encouraged. Companies like Tesla and Netflix innovated by adapting their content strategies to fit a new world where streaming became the dominant form of entertainment. By releasing new content directly to streaming platforms, they bypassed traditional theater models and stayed competitive in the changing media landscape. Companies must invest in upskilling and reskilling to ensure that employees can flexibly adapt to new requirements as industries evolve. On a broader scale, governments and educational institutions must play a bigger role. Countries like Germany have successfully implemented vocational education and training. Programs in South Africa, such as the Youth Employment Service, or YES, aim to create opportunities and train youth to be adaptable in shifting labor markets. Introducing entrepreneurship education is at all levels, from primary school through to tertiary education, can nurture a culture of innovation and self-reliance. Initiatives like the National Youth Development Agency in South Africa, which focuses on empowering youth through entrepreneurship, are critical in this regard. And these programs help develop the adaptability and resilience of the workforce. Prof. Babalola has expertly weaved the fields of study, such as industrial psychology, organizational psychology, and human resource management, in our understanding of how work benefits individuals and organizations by providing practical solutions for better performance and well-being. He has traced origins and evolution from Taylorism, observing and analyzing tasks to improving performance, intelligent testing, behavior settings, and the hierarchy of needs, using various theories alongside safeguarding worker rights in alignment with the labor movements of the 20th century. The lecture detailed the classification of psychology in the world of work discipline and demonstrated that psychological studies of people's workplace experiences, behaviors, and interactions contribute to effective and fulfilling engagements. Babalola's view that the workplace as a mixture of physical conditions and psychological climate stimulated his curiosity about how organizational processes and practices influence human behavior and outcomes of interactions because of the huge number of hours or human hours spent in the workplace, which has psychological, physical, positive or negative consequences. Babalola's 2009 study on factors influencing the behavior of small business owner-managers investigated the demographic and psychological factors influencing unethical business behavior among small business owners in Nigeria. And what was remarkable was that individuals who believe they have control over their lives will likely behave unethically. Entrepreneurs who are comfortable taking risks will likely engage in behaviors that maximize business outcomes and success. The study also found that younger male business owners are more likely to engage in unethical behavior than females and older individuals. Psychological capital influenced the actions of female entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Research has indicated that education promotes innovation among entrepreneurs. Individuals with higher levels of education typically have better access to resources and networks that support innovative approach. Without going through a further 10 pages, I have separated it and I will conclude. Professor Babalola is dedicated to investigating and resolving the challenges through research and hands-on project involvement. His approach has resulted in several significant findings and solutions that have helped to address these pressing issues. His research has impacted his understanding of how entrepreneurs behave in business settings and the role of work ethics within that context. His results show a sense of empowerment, a commitment to lifelong learning, and a willingness to take risks to succeed, particularly in creativity. Furthermore, he has emphasized the importance of being open to new ideas, networking strategies, and strong educational background, valuable work experiences, and relevant knowledge assets when identifying promising business prospects. His research has identified several key individual and organizational characteristics significantly impacting employee performance. My concluding remarks are that finally, the central argument in today's discourse is that effective management of various demographics, attitudes, personalities, and emotions is required to foster organizationally desirable behaviors such as innovation and improved job performance. If and when properly addressed, employees are likely to exhibit behaviors that contribute to overall organizational success. Professor Babalola, thank you for this opportunity, and on behalf of the Faculty of Management and Public Administration Sciences FMPAS and the Executive Dean, I wish you well, and we know that you have many more years of fruitful academic and professional service to render, and we hope that it will be continuously at WSU. Thank you very much.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Prof. Balkaran, for being longer than Professor Babalola, who's shortened and longitudinal. Okay, colleagues, now the big time has come, Prof, for you. Because now I'm gonna ask the Vice Chancellor and Principal and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Acting Professor Cishe and Professor Songa, to come forward and give you a gift, yabo. And I know this feeling. So you are all going to stand up now. I wish if it was those times of me, there's something like something that is happening for you when yeah, because Prof, please can you come to the stage, my professors, all my professors, can they please come to the stage to give Prof Babalola the trophy of being a full professor. Hey, the trophy of being a full professor. Come, don't be afraid, my professors, to give him. You stand here and he stands in front, or I mean in between you. Yes. Then it's a demonstration, and then I am going to read what is written there, Prof, in the trophy, and give you some time to give it to him. This trophy is presented by Walter Sisulu University to Professor Sunday Samson Babalola on 31st October 2024. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, professors. You can start Prof. Babalola, follow Professor Cishe, and then the VC in front. Prof. Cishe, you can get seated. Yeah. Oh, you're still coming? Okay. Get first, Prof. I thought your time is up. Sorry, Prof. Cishe. Okay, colleagues. Now, colleagues, I am going to request Professor Nguza Mduba to come up and do a vote of thanks for us. Where are we now? Sorry, my darling. The problem is that Program Director Lele, sorry. You know, sometimes I was very bad in this thing of memorizing. So I was memorizing this program instead of reading it. Sorry, Professor Nguza. Professor Nguza is going to give us a congratulatory message for the colleague. Over to you, Prof.
Thank you, Program Director. the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University, Professor Rochelle, together with her executive management present, the DVC for Teaching and Learning, Professor Margaret Linnington, as well as the acting DVC for Research and Internationalization, Professor Elfina Tisha, senior leadership present, FMPAS heads of departments, more especially the HR department led by Mrs. Majova, where Professor Babalola belongs to. Students at large, colleagues in the department as well as in the faculty, colleagues from other campuses, all the students, as well as colleagues that are watching even online, the distinguished guests, that is the Babalola family, and all of the colleagues that are watching in this auditorium as well as online. Good afternoon to you all, colleagues and students. Our beautiful choir, how can I not greet you? This choir has won again in their competition. Well done, Butterworth Choir. I am thrilled to join you all in honoring Professor Sunday Babalola on this remarkable occasion. Today's inaugural lecture not only celebrates a personal milestone, but also contributes to the ongoing conversation on industrial and organizational psychology, as well as human resources management, a field in which Professor Babalola has been a leader, shaping both theory and practice. This is the second time that we hold an inaugural lecture at our beautiful campus in pursuit of excellence. This is happening at the right time when we reimagine our university to excel in all the 9 strategic goals of our university, as mentioned in our Vision 2030 strategic plan. An inaugural lecture is a unique opportunity for us to learn more about Professor Babalola's academic journey, his insights, and his contributions to the field. It is also a chance for us to look forward with him to consider the impact his future work will have on our faculty, our university, our students, and beyond. Professor Babalola has conducted pioneering research in areas such as industrial psychology, industrial organizational behavior, entrepreneurship behavior, and performance within diverse contexts, together with employee retention, talent management, workplace diversity, human resources standards, HR information systems, which are critical to understanding and improving the modern workplace. He emphasized that organizations that embrace Bamboo's resilience, adaptability, and sustainability values will play an important role in developing a workforce that can adapt to changing circumstances. Furthermore, the organizations that practice entrepreneurship in their business operations tend to be stable and sustainable. When we talk of entrepreneurship, we tend to apply entrepreneurship skills, not necessarily in a business situation, but in an academic situation. When we are talking of entrepreneurship skills, we are trying to say, as all the employees of Walter Sisulu University, let us have in our minds the entrepreneurial mindset in pursuit of excellence. For example, Your study on psychological constructs and sustainable organizational practices implies that there is a relationship between self-esteem and organizational identification, emphasizing the employees feeling valued and connected to their workplace. It highlighted that employees caring can deepen their relationship with the organization and improve work performance. Also, you investigated how well managing employees can impact development in today's workplace using industrial or organizational behavior, leadership, and entrepreneurship with theoretical and practical applications in improving business operations and human resource management to promote organizational growth and employee performance and job satisfaction. Furthermore, in your study of psychological capital, you investigated the impact of optimism and self-efficacy on people's attitudes towards change and the role of self-monitoring in this framework of PsycCap, which sheds light on how people navigate changes using public information sources. This study paves the way for strategies for increasing employees' mental strength during difficult times. The study, published in Journal of Occupational and Organizational Psychology, has sparked discussions across the industry and influenced how organizations approach people's attitudes towards change. Professor Babalola's contribution to academia and his field have been distinguished, marked by rigorous research, dedication to teaching, and commitment to mentoring future generations. His work has significantly impacted the industrial and organizational psychology, human resources management field, advancing knowledge and practice in ways that benefit both our academic community and society. All this excellent work is indicated in several journal articles published in Journal of Applied Business Research, Journal of Social and Development Sciences, just to mention a few. Professor Babalola's expertise has not only been acknowledged in academia, but has also made a lasting impact in the HR industry. His work on leadership development in HR has been referenced in prominent industry publications like Leadership and Organizational Development Journal, Journal of Vocational Behavior, etc. In such research, he mentioned that leadership is crucial for fostering resilience by demonstrating ethical leadership, implementing effective strategies, and an environment where employees can manage stress, adapt to change, and actively contribute to organizational objectives. Flexible leadership like bamboo allows teams to withstand pressure while ensuring the organization's strength and adaptability in changing environment. These contributions have helped shape guidelines and training programs used by companies today, making Professor Babalola's research a cornerstone of practical HR applications. In addition to his research, Professor Babalola has inspired and educated countless students through courses such as Advanced HR Strategy as well as research methodology. He has nurtured a generation of HR professionals who carry forward these insights into workplace around the globe. Testimonials from former students often speak to Professor Babalola's engaging teaching style, highlighting his talent for making complex concepts accessible and relevant, more especially the sense of humor that he normally displays when he's dealing with his students. In conclusion, please join me in congratulating Professor Babalola on this outstanding achievement. As we look ahead, we are confident that Professor Babalola, you will continue to provide valuable insights that guide our understanding of human resources and workplace dynamics. Thanks so much to your family, more especially your wife and your children and grandchildren that allowed you to work with us as an inspiring university. Congratulations once more, Prof. Babalola, on a well-deserved honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Nguza Duba, for that congratulatory message. Now I'm also going to read a message from the Consulate General of Nigeria, Embassy in South Africa. They sent a message to Prof. Babalola saying that Prof. Sunday Samson Babalola, Professor and Chairperson, Faculty Ethics Research Committee, Department of Human Resource Management. Oh, I like technology because now you can also see the letter I'm reading, which is very beautiful. I thought it's gonna be for my eyes only. Actually, it's not. Faculty of Management and Public Administration Sciences, Water Sisulu, congratulatory letter. I received with great delight the news of your elevation as a professor and scheduled delivery in your inaugural lecture titled The Bamboo Workforce, Bending Without Breaking, taking place on 31st October 2024 at Water Sisulu University, Eastern Cape. Your achievements in industrial psychology / organizational psychology are not only a reflection of your hard work and dedication, but a testament of your expertise as a distinguished scholar. I am confident that your invaluable contribution to academic knowledge would further enrich humanity and, above all, enhance the image of our great country. On behalf of myself, that means get the consulate, the embassy, and the Consulate General of Nigeria, please accept our hearty congratulations and best wishes for a successful event. Warm regards, Ambassador Umar Ibrahim Bashar, Consulate General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm trying to replicate him wherever he is because I want to be looking like him when he's saying this. Okay, thank you very much for that. You know, when you are outside your country, you really feel that warmth when people really care about you. Now we're gonna get a vote of thanks from the program. It's written Professor Margaret Lillington. However, we are going to get Professor Cishe, Acting Director, Research and Internalization. Over to you, Prof. Ndayithanda ke lanto esasiduko sakuba uva kamandi izake encotshokazi.
Thank you, Program Director, for being an acting director, research and innovation. And once again, I will only acknowledge the Vice Chancellor and Principal and our colleagues and distinguished people online only. Allow me to say all protocol observed. I'm coming here to say a vote of thanks. That's the easiest of the things that you can do and sit down. It's not difficult. But there's someone I see here who was not acknowledged at all, and I want to do that. And any other directors that are here, Dr. Mabunda, sorry, we did not see you. I'm only seeing you now. Program Director, Professor Nganywa, thank you very much for the way that you have driven this program. The only thing is to allow the faculty to go on and on and on. Next time, don't do that. you reminded us that we are beautiful. And I see that everybody is indeed in here beautiful. Our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Babalola, the wife, it's the first time we have a Vice Chancellor and Principal who is a woman. I don't want to say a female, deliberately. I want to say a woman. It is the first time since the beginning of this university, from its days in the past up to now, which is something we appreciate a lot. Whenever she stands on the podium, I know that she's not a lady of too many words, but will say something that is very, very interesting. Prof, that is the Vice Chancellor, she has made a call that next time Metukwayo, postgraduate students from honors level should be invited. The two of you sitting there, because this is one of the activities to motivate them to study. The VC spoke about the importance of an inaugural lecture in academic and professional development. I'm not going to remind you what she said. And in her warm welcome, she made a plea upon Professor Babalola to start a new journey. That journey, I know you are in that journey, but now of putting more pressure on mentoring emerging researchers and postgraduate students. We want you to excel in that. Thank you, VC. I'm not going to thank myself, but because I'm standing here on behalf of Professor Linnington, allow me to say thank you, Professor Cishe, for introducing the Professor of the Day. Professor Babalola, I did psychology, and I thought I know psychology, but the analogy of a bamboo workforce has opened my eyes. You are a psychologist. You have mentioned the disciplines. But what I liked about you, although you were trying to classify psychology in the world of work, you emphasized the role that employees should play in the success and longevity of organizations. And that refers to us, colleagues, as employees of this university. To you, students, as our clients in this university, you spoke about changes in the world of life and the perceptions that are there of the workplace as a mixture of physical conditions and psychological climate. You linked HRM and those fields of psychology to improve positive employee outcomes and reduce negative ones. Thank you for mentioning 7 areas of contributions. The bamboo workforce symbolizes the ability to be flexible and adaptable, you said so, in changing work settings while being resilient. What I liked, you did not just conduct these studies. All your studies have been informed by theories. I identified 4 such theories: situation strength theory, social cognitive career theory, resource-based theory, and contingency theories. And as you were explaining workforce approach, bamboo workforce approach, you continuously, even if you're not aware, made reference to our female leader in this room. You were not aware that they have determination and strength despite the challenges. If you can speak to her next to you and ask how many challenges that she had encountered, but despite those, she still has that strength. And you also reminded us on how to train a girl child. That is very, very important. Gender biases and societal norms, how these impede women's growth. You spoke about dynamics of leadership. What I like most, you mentioned transformational leadership. Let's keep on transforming HODs, senior staff members that are in positions. Let us be transformational at all times and play a crucial role in shaping employee behavior and morale by building trust. The complex relationships between workplace relationship and workplace practices shape employee behavior and organizational outcomes. A tree that bends without breaking. We have one in this room, a bamboo tree that bends without breaking. Thank you, Professor, for that. Professor Balkaran, I could see that you are a teacher. I was wondering why you were a respondent to this, but when you narrated how you met Professor Babalola in Nigeria, but I'm still wondering what made you to go all the way to collect data. It's a subject for the two of us outside this room when you met Professor Babalola. You seemed not surprised about the lecture of bamboo workforce, which is a metaphor for resilience, a tree that bends without breaking. Workforce in cultivating a team collaboration. You also emphasized that Prof is multidisciplinary. If anyone in this room do not understand that, you have all the time to talk to Prof outside this room. You said, Professor Balkaran, organizations should bend to changes. This refers to all of us in this room. We encounter changes because change is a fact of life, and ours is to bend to those changes like a bamboo tree. You spoke about what the university is doing. I was not surprised because you know that upskilling and reskilling, the university is doing that one. Professor Nguza, the executive, Professor Nguza Mtuba. We have a tendency of saying Professor Nguza, and yet you are Professor Nguza Mtuba, the executive dean of the Faculty of Management and Public Administration Sciences. I wanted you to tell me that time. Your congratulatory message showed scholarship, but I was worried and I kept on looking at Professor Nganyo to say, oh, sizawulala apha. Because I thought you were going to take longer than Professor Balkaran. I could see excitement in you when you said that this is a second inaugural lecture here in this campus. And for those who do not know, the first one was the lady who's directing this program. We tried to change her, to say, hi, Prof. Nganyo, why would you take us to Butterworth? Said, hi, Pa, I'm not even by the cleaning auntie. They will come and the hall will be full. Unfortunately, I could not come because I wasn't well at the time. I can imagine that this hall was full because she wanted that it should come here. Bamboo resilience. That is what we should be. The ambassador who sent that nice congratulatory message. I hope if he's not watching online, he will have time to watch this. Our sincere gratitude for the thought that he has made. Thank you, the family, the friends of Professor Babalola. Hey, the Oyedeges, you didn't say that they are Oyedeges today. They are growing younger and younger. I don't know, two of them. I can see them. Thank you to all the friends, the family. I could see the kumbi when it was coming, and the family and friends were coming out of that. Thank you for coming to support Prof and his family. Academics, this is how you should support your colleagues. Continue doing that even in the next one. Support staff, all the support staff from various directorates, thank you. I can even see someone who were complaining that the aircons are not working here. Even if they're not working, thank you for attending. I hope next time we'll find the aircons working. Visitors, the winning choir, the students, those who will be traveling to different places, travel safely. I hope the VC has been invited to the braai, because I learned that there will be a braai in East London. I haven't received the invitation, so I hope the VC is invited. And the people who work behind the scenes, we have a tendency of forgetting them. Mrs. Tukwayo and your team, thank you very much. And the media that is always with us all the time, we appreciate your service to WSU. If there's anybody I have forgotten, as you go out, just say, Professor Linington has forgotten us. But if I have mentioned everybody, be happy that Professor Cishe has thanked you. Thank you very much.
Firstly, colleagues, I am that one who had that inaugural lecture here. Maybe you did not hear that part. I'm reminding you, because Professor Songa, you don't know this, what it does to a person, but you know because because it has happened to you. But colleagues, those that do not know, this is the best feeling of being an academic. It's the best. So now you did something very, I don't know, excellent for me. So I know even for you, Prof, you will always dream about this. And fortunately, our MCD is making this live stream, and it is going to, even if people say, I did not have time to attend, go YouTube. I tell them, go YouTube. You'll see it. It is still there even today. And when I don't do anything, I go and read it. It is like those RNA Prof that we interviewed us. They are there online. So that I'm trying to show this, the importance of this technology. It is helping us to keep history. So I'm happy I'm part of Walter Sisulu University history. So we must all strive for that. Thank you very much. I want to thank you, Prof, because although you thanked yourself, but I also want to thank you as a program director for the contribution you have done, especially that these inaugural lectures are under your division. And your blessings made this day also successful. And you have made the VC happy, because this is the vision of the VC. So I'm happy that management is happy. Okay. So now, colleagues, I am going to give some small indicators of what is going to happen. What is going to happen now is that there are refreshments in the foyer, and those refreshments, all the visitors are going to have a piece there. And I think there's enough for everyone because we have planned for the whole hall. So there is enough. And then the choir, they know their special place. They have got their special place where they will enjoy the meal there. And then what is going to happen, we're going to sing Nkosi Sikelela Africa, our national song. And then after that one, we are not going to get seated. Then the procession is going to be led by the Vice Chancellor to leave the house. Then we are all going to be standing by that time, and then after the procession has left, then now we are all going to leave for the foyer to have that meal. Then after that one, and then the choir after Nkosi Sikelel Africa, because everybody must be standing when singing Nkosi Sikelel Africa. Then after that one, the choir will give us a song where the VC is going to take us through the procession. Can the choir lead us? Down because I'm also part of the procession.
Naba pansi mabashonele bo madoda basala bebambongezansi bo uphandini likana zonke zoshiswa bo inkomo zamadoda basala bebambongezansi bo uphandini likana mause bo bavume bonke bengakholwa bo ukuthi babulala imfuyo bo imfuyo bayixabisile